All right, folks, so this is part 2 of the plant and animal cell notes that we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of walk you through these and just make sure you understand the directions on each of the pages. So we'll go through, here's the directions as usual. If you see the pink outline, that means you either have to write something there or do something there. And so we're just going to continue on from yesterday's information. We did kind of an overview on cell parts yesterday, and now we're going to dig in a little bit more today. So this slide has information about the cell wall. So this is found in plant cells only. It's got a rigid, strong, stiff outer layer. It supports the plant and allows it to grow tall. It helps protect the cell, and it allows water, oxygen, and carbon dioxide to pass in and out of the cell. So on the right, I want you to think of an object, person, or place at home that functions similar to the cell wall. And you're going to type your answer in there. All right, now we're going to talk about the cell membrane. So this is found in both the plant and animal cells. And in a plant, it's found just inside the cell wall. In an animal, it is the only layer. It's the outer layer. So the cell membrane also protects and supports the cell, but its main function is this one here, the second from the bottom bullet. It controls the movement of materials in and out of the cell. That's going to be our important function. And it maintains homeostasis, or a condition of balance. And as you can see from the diagram, it's got a double membrane, so they call it a lipid bilayer. Okay, so now you're going to think of an object, person, or place at home that functions similar to a cell membrane. Type your answer in there. Okay, so on this slide, it's like an interactive notebook, sort of. You're going to complete the table as you move through the presentation. So we're going to do just little chunks at a time. You're going to click on one of the images below and drag it to the structure area, the structure column for cell wall, and then do it for the cell membrane. So for the cell wall, you have to look, there's a red structure, a green structure, and then there's these 3 circles. And this one says the outer pink area. This one says the black boundary between the yellow and the pink area. And then this one says inside the yellow area. So you have to figure out which one is describing, which one looks like the cell wall and what is looking like the cell membrane. And I'll give you a hint. It's one of these 3 circles here. So you're going to click and drag and put them in your structure boxes. And then I want you to write in the function of the cell wall and the cell membrane. And then we'll move on to the next slide. So the nucleus is found both in plant and animal cells. It's large and oval in shape, and it's usually found near the center of an animal cell and near the edge of a plant cell. It helps to control the cell activities. Sometimes people nickname it the brain, but I don't want you to ever use that as an answer. I want you to say that it controls cell activities, or that it controls a hereditary material, or that it stores genetic information. Those are good examples of answers. So over here, I want you to think of an object, person, or place at home that functions similar to the nucleus. So we're coming up with different analogies to our cell parts. All right, now think about it. We learned that Robert Hooke named cells from the Latin cella, which means small room. Do you think Mr. Hooke was observing plants or animal cells when he named them? And how do you know? Kind of gave you the answer before, but let's see what you remember. So you're going to write your answer in that box. All right, let's take a look at animal cells and plant cells. You're going to study these images and answer the reflection questions on the left. What is the main difference you see between these 2 types of cells? And why do you think plant cells need a cell wall as well as a cell membrane? And then what would happen to plants if they did not have a cell wall? Moving on, we'll talk about cytoplasm. So it's found in both plant and animal cells, and it's a clear, thick, jelly-like material. It helps support and protect the organelles, and this is where all the chemical reactions occur inside of a cell. So again, you're going to come up with an analogy. Think of an object, person, or place at home that functions similar to the cytoplasm. Mitochondria. These are found in both plant and animal cells. They are bean-shaped, and they have this very tight inner membrane. You can see from the cutaway in the picture. What mitochondria do is they break down sugar molecules into energy. They create ATP. This is the chemical energy of the cell. And this process is called cellular respiration. And some people nickname it the powerhouse of the cell, but again, you don't want to use that as an answer on a homework question, because I'm going to make you explain what does that mean. So you're going to want to tell me that it produces ATP for the cell, or creates energy for the cell, or breaks down sugar molecules to make energy. So on the right, you want to think of an object, person, or place at home that functions similar to the mitochondria. And now we're going to pick out our cell organelle pictures again. So you have a choice between this pink one, the green one, these two yellowish ones, and then this round orange with a yellow dot. So we're identifying a nucleus, the cytoplasm, and the mitochondria, and you're also going to type in your functions. All right, a vacuole. This is found in all plant cells, usually one big one, and then there are some smaller ones. And it stores large amounts of food with sugars in it and water. And it's found in animal cells. There's a few of them, and they're a lot smaller, and they store food, water, metabolic, and toxic wastes. And they're all kind of fluid-filled sacs. So now I want you to think of an object, person, or place at home that functions similar to the vacuole. All right, you just returned to school from spring break, and all of the plants around your classroom are wilted and looking terrible. What do you think happened? Use your knowledge of plant cells to explain, and do you think they can recover? So, especially the most recent slide that we just did, the previous one, maybe go back and take a look at that and see if that'll help you answer this question. All right, chloroplasts. They're found in plants only. They're green, they're oval shaped, kind of like a football. They have the pigment called chlorophyll, which is green, and that's why plants have green color. They use energy from the sun to make food. That's the sole purpose of photosynthesis, is that they need to make food for themselves. One of the great byproducts is oxygen, and that's something that we can use. So now you're going to think of an object, person, or place at home that functions similar to the chloroplast. All right, here we go. We have to identify two more cell parts, the chloroplast and the vacuole. So you're going to figure out which one they look like here and drag them over into the structure column and then type in the function. Okay, so now this is going to kind of summarize what we've been learning. You're going to choose one organelle that we learned about today, draw a model of your organelle, which includes labels, arrows, captions, and showing movement. Then I want you to come up with an analogy for your organelle to help remember its function. So you're going to draw and indicate how it relates to your organelle. You're going to take a picture and upload the drawing on the next slide. So what you see here is this person. It looks like they did like a boat with the motor is what they're focusing on, because look at, they've drawn the flagellum. The flagellum helps to propel the cell. So they drew, the propeller of a boat to kind of show that they have this similar function. And it's kind of hard to read. You'll have to, let's see if we can enlarge this picture so we can read it better. So they said the flagellum is made of protein, that it's got a hook here that it kind of rotates. The motor in the cell envelope makes the flagellum spin, so there's actually mitochondria in here that helps give it energy so that it can move. And then down here they just showed there's a motor. They're showing the direction of the movement, the propeller. So they're answering that question fully by showing that analogy. So you're going to do your own drawing, and you're going to upload it and insert it onto this slide. So once you have it picture taken, either on your phone or with your Chromebook, please make sure you have good lighting and that it's clear, because if I can't see your drawing, I'm not going to be able to grade it. And then you're going to click Insert, and you're going to click Image, and then you can upload it from the computer, and you'll be able to size it up on here. After you've completed that, you're going to do a Venn diagram, figure out what's different between plant and animal cells and what do they have in common. And then you've got some check for understanding questions. This first one says, explain the difference in the structure of a plant and animal cell. So you're going to tell me what are some of the differences. And then this chart, you're going to be explaining the difference in the function of plant and animal cell organelles. So you're going to explain to me what's different there. And And then you're going to tell me which essential questions you might still need help understanding. And then when you're finished answering this question, you're going to submit this in Schoology so I can grade it.